You know, Einstein, Niels Bohr, Max Planck. You know, I'd love to sit with the, you know, the particulate, you know, the quantum physics guys, because there really is the root of understanding how and why the world is the way it is, and the joy of these studies in antimatter that are occurring.
Everyone you picked is a physicist, a scientist, and I often think about how spirituality and science are merging, how they're kind of coming together. I mean, what ancient civilizations thought of as a universe was really the Earth and the Sun and a few planets. And now with the advent of the Hubble telescope, we can see that the universe is far bigger than the ancients had ever imagined. So while science and religion are merging on some ideas, in other areas they're just far off. But to make matters even more complicated, the idea of parallel dimensions or parallel universes, I mean, it's just getting so vast out there. How do you map a multiverse?
You know, I've talked to some guys, they say that fifth dimension, sixth dimension, could be right here by my ear and could be a millimeter wide and a millimeter across. You don't, you know, because you're talking about, you know, dimensions that defy any kind of dimensional understanding. And, you know, there was I forget his name, he died recently, in the last 2 years, but he proposed that there are parallel realities just because of the way we go through time. Like, here we are in this interview right now. Well, what I said and what you said and what we all did 2 minutes ago still exists somewhere. Because we just did it. It's there. It's like a wake we've left. And if you had a time vehicle, you could go back to 2 minutes before and stop and see what we're doing 2 minutes before. You go back to your high school days. You go back to your days as an infant. And those realities are still existing alongside what we're progressing through. You know, it's all a beautiful, beautiful mystery. I'm here because I am a writer, a performer. I find it entertaining. I'm not a scientist. You know, and I'm not a theosopher or philosopher. And you know, I am just here because it is enormously, enormously entertaining. And mysteries like this are challenging. And it's really, really fun to contemplate that, you know, there may be beings out there who are concerned about our planet and who may give us the opportunity to advance ourselves. It's really fun to contemplate. All the physics that we know on this planet, quantum physics and conventional physics and metallurgy and you know, all of it. It can really encompass a theory of how these ships move. I mean, you've done it yourself, David, proposing, you know, that if you can convert, you know, a mass to a state of, you know, of photonic energy, then there is no mass anymore, and you're looking at pure light. You're looking at anti-gravity. You're looking at something that can be, you know, harnessed in waves. Well, what is the fuel? Well, people, you know, Bob Lazar talked about, you know, this element 115 that was put into these generators to boil mercury and to be used as gravity tractors. Maybe that's it. I don't know. I mean, they must be using a fuel that's unavailable to us. Does it give off radioactive waste? What is the cost to them? For instance, the Venice UFO that you recently showed me, and I covet that tape. That's amazing. Because you see the metallic quality of the object, you see the force field around it, you see it spinning.
It was May 2nd, 2004, approximately 11:30 a.m. And I was walking from my apartment with my girlfriend down this alley right here. And we were just sort of walking this way, and I looked up over at those phone lines, and we saw something that we really couldn't make sense of. It was a very shiny, you know, metallic disc. So we turned the corner here, and this is basically where we're just looking at it. And we're pretty much like, okay, that's not a balloon or anything we're familiar with. So we sort of kept walking to the corner and just stared at it for a while until it hit me, you know, that this was really something. There was a man also looking at it, sort of a bystander, and he said, wow, do you guys see that? And that's when I realized all three of us were looking at something extraordinary.
What is the environmental cost of running these machines? Are they clean or are they not? Is there some, wherever, you know, they came from, is there some place they have to go back to after their journeys are finished to dump whatever they've used up in terms of fuel, like we would a bad fuel rod in a reactor? That is a question I'd like to know. I'd like to ask is, you know, are you a clean burning vessel, or is there some cost that you pay, like we paid for atomic energy?
When we consider that it may be possible to take mass and reduce it down to zero, make it as light as a photon, we can start to approach this whole light speed phenomena from a whole new direction. I mean, we're going to be able to do this. This is the only logical answer. There are no fissile nuclear materials in the universe as we know it to produce the kind of energies in a steady stream that you need to get mass up to that speed. There are no fissile nuclear fuels that can produce 1 trillion electron volts all day long. And wormholes are even more exotic. The idea of, you know, bending and folding two spaces of space-time together and creating a shortcut wormhole to vector in between those 2 points, according to Kip Thorne, who wrote Black Holes and Time Warps, that the energy required for a wormhole is 100 million suns, the negative energy they put out for an entire year. There are 100 million suns in our galaxy alone. That means all of the negative solar energy coming from our suns in this whole galaxy, the total energy for a whole year is required to create a wormhole. Where has any extraterrestrial civilization or our civilization going to get access to levels of energy that high? It's never going to happen. That's why I've reversed the table here. I said, you know, you have to ultimately get frustrated with the idea of increasing energy en masse. You have to just, it's like banging your head against the wall and trying to cram it through the wall. You'll never be able to do it this way. So the new way, as I propose, is to make this all possible. And when you consider UFOs coming in, stopping on a dime, and then accelerating and turning out into space, any Air Force pilot can tell you that stopping on a dime, the G-forces are going to throw you right through the walls.
Yeah, you'll be crushed.
And then sudden acceleration is going to do the same thing. It's going to destroy the body of the pilot. So this new approach and this new idea, I mean, this is just the inception, it's just the beginning, but I think this is really the only avenue that we can look down right now, and the only way we can see solving this problem. While Gordon Cooper was an Air Force pilot stationed in Munich, Germany in 1951 in the 86th Fighter Bomber Group, where he flew F-84s and F-86s, Cooper testifies to having chased disc-shaped UFOs that outmaneuvered the most advanced fighter jets of our time.
We were flying in Germany, and we were flying F-86s. And they would come over and do the same maneuvers that we make, except every once in a while one of them would go zip. And you just can't do that in a fighter, a conventional fighter. They're just typical saucer shape, double lenticular shape, metallic looking. Well, yeah, they weren't just random. They were flying fighter formations, very definitely under positive control.
I'm here to announce that the second annual Exopolitics Expo, X-Conference 2005, was concluded on Sunday, April 24th. This event was produced by Paradigm Research Group. 26 speakers and panelists presented to 450 attendees over 3 days. It was a unique event which focuses on the political, governmental, and social implications